series of messages between Ntuthuko Shoba and the man accused of masterminding her murder. Ntuthuko Shoba showed that he was absent and didn't care about Pule's well-being or the imminent birth of their baby. This week, the state also argued that Shoba was not being open to the courts about his financial situation during his bail application. His previous application to be freed on bail of 2,000 rand was denied. Newzroom Afrika has also learned that the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has officially axed Ntuthuko Shoba following the allegations of murder. To give us an update on the story, we're joined now by Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi. Linda, very good morning to you. I know that there is an exclusive part of the developments of this murder case that you uncovered when you gave us an update on the latest developments in this case.
Absolutely important. I mean, you'll remember that what he had initially told the court was that he was placed on cautionary leave and that his job was in jeopardy as a result of the incarceration. So he wanted bail for a number of reasons. And one was because his grandmother depended on his work and the remuneration that he got from his work, and that he had also employed someone to take care of his grandmother. Now, you'll remember that these details only came out during the second bail application, because in the first bail application, which was denied by the court, he actually did not, bring sufficient evidence as to why it is in the interest of justice for him to be granted bail. So on the second bail application on new facts, these are the details that he revealed, saying that, in fact, his employment is quite central to a lot of things, and that he would need to pay for his house, he would need to pay for his car, and that he basically needed his grandmother, he needed to take care of his grandmother's needs. So the court saying that, well, you're not being entirely honest, especially when it comes to your business and your house, because we have discovered that house was taken on a joint bond. So you're not the sole owner of that house. So if you're further incarcerated, that bond could be taken over by your long-term partner. The state saying that they've obtained a supporting affidavit to that effect, but also that even in the business that he speaks of, he's not the sole owner of that business, saying that there is another person who could take care of that business. In fact, you'll remember that Ntuthuko Shoba was permanently employed. He was on full-time employment, the state arguing that there was no way that he could take care of the day-to-day needs of that business. So what he's saying with regards to that business was in fact a lie. So the JSE confirming to us on Friday that they have dismissed him and are unable to reveal the reasons and the reasons why they dismissed him, saying that is confidential. But we do understand that he was dismissed on the 20th of April. But they were unable to tell us if it was in fact as a result of the case or anything that may have emerged from the case. They do, however, confirm that they were subpoenaed by the police to reveal certain information, and they have cooperated with the police, also saying that the fact that Ntuthuko Shoba used their landline to contact anybody is not prohibited with regards to their cell phone policy. So Ntuthuko Shoba can contact whoever that he wants to contact using their landline. So their policy does not necessarily, prohibit them from making any calls. But we heard in court that the landline of the JSE was used to contact the now convicted murderer.
And how do these latest developments regarding Shoba's employment now change or impact the state's case?
You remember that during bail application, I mean, you don't have to reveal your defense and, a lot about what could have transpired during the crime itself. Bail is really a portion where you specifically speak about your personal circumstances and why it is in the interest of justice that you should be granted bail. And with Ntuthuko Shoba, in fact, he was warned of this. The state saying that at this point it is unnecessary for you to reveal your defense. What you could do is basically tell us about your personal circumstances, considering the fact that bail in its nature is not penal, so they cannot hold you against it, and it does not mean that once you've been granted bail, you have been acquitted of the crime. So he then saying that he can reveal certain parts of the crime, but that the court had to warn him that it can be used against you in the subsequent trial. You don't have to reveal all those details, your defense, because it's still early stages. You don't really know what the state has against you. But he chose, of course, to continue with revealing his details. But also, they had to tell him and inform him that at this particular point, you can also remain silent, which is a right that you have. And that cannot be used against you. One might look at that as the easiest option here, but he chose to reveal his defense. But also the issue of employment, is central to his personal circumstances, because this is what he said was in jeopardy, because he won't be able to take care of his financial needs should he lose his employment. So then at this particular point, it would seem that that aspect of his life cannot now be used in court, and it would be interesting really to hear what he has to say in terms of him now losing his job, and what that can do for his bail bid.
And all of this transpired in June of 2020, where the world, the nation, learnt with shock of a 28-year-old Ntuthuko Shoba's body. She was 8 months at the time, and her body was found hanging from a tree, causing a lot of emotional distress, not only for her family, but the public at large. But going back to Ntuthuko Shoba's family, how are they coping, and how are they receiving the developments as this case unfolds?
A lot was revealed on Thursday, during Ntuthuko Shoba's, bail appearance, rather. And what we also heard was how this was not their first baby. In fact, WhatsApp messages revealed that this was their second baby, and that the first one had been aborted. So this is according to the state, who then drafted an affidavit from one of the detectives in the South African Police Service, who investigated investigated the case, saying that the WhatsApp messages revealed that this was not the first baby. In fact, it was the second baby. The first one was aborted, and the WhatsApp messages revealing that she basically was in protest against the decision to abort the second baby. And one can only imagine how the family was feeling, because we understand that some family members were hearing this for the first time. I mean, you could see the shock in her uncle's face when some of these details emerged. In fact, from where our camera was standing, facing Ntuthuko Shoba, because of course, the conditions that we have been given by the court in terms of filming the proceeding, he was stationed, at the back of where Ntuthuko Shoba was sitting. The shock in his face when these details emerged, and we had an opportunity to speak to him after the proceedings, and he indicated that he did not really know, as a family, they did not know that this was in fact the second pregnancy. They did not know about the first baby. So it's quite clear, he says, that they have been robbed of 3 lives by the same man.
Very well, Linda. Let's leave it there for now. Our reporter, Linda Mnisi, brings